Govinda Radha. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. This is part 2 of our story, October 28th, Kartik, Chaitanya Charitamrita stories, the amazing pastimes of Mahaprabhu, and this is the pastime of the meeting of the two Mahaprabhus. Mahaprabhu, Do Mahaprabhu Milan. We left off, we're in Allahabad, it's Kumbh Mela, it's 500 years ago, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has been greeted by Vallabha Bhatta, the Acharya of the Vallabha Sampradaya. And he's been invited, he and his associates, Rupa Goswami and Anupam Goswami, Rupa's younger brother, have been invited by the Grihastha Brahmin Acharya, Vallabha, because Lord Chaitanya is a sannyasi, that is the etiquette. He's been invited by the Grihastha Brahmin Acharya, Vallabha Bhatta, to come to his house to honor Mahaprasadam, Nathji Mahaprasadam, which is across the Ganga at Allahabad in the village of Idaila Gram. So there was some Leela yesterday, before that, where Vallabha Bhatta was quite amazed at the devotional depth and realization and purity of two of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, the followers of Lord Chaitanya, Rupa Goswami, and Anupam. So we left off that they've come to the boat ghat, and Vallabhacharya has escorted Mahaprabhu and his associates on a boat to cross, the Yamuna, because there the Ganga and Yamuna meet together. Yamunara Jaladeki Chikkana Shamala Prema Veshe Mahaprabhu Haiha Vivala. When Mahaprabhu entered the Nauka, going across Yamuna Kalindi, then he saw the Chikkana Sham. Chikkana Shamala. Chikkana means shining, glossy, shining, glistening, glimmering. When he saw the shiny, glimmering water, the gentle waves of the Yamuna, then his bhav, his Mahabhav, Radha Mahabhav, then that became an udipan, an excitement, a stimulant, vibhav udipana. And that reminded Radharani, the Premashraya Vibhav, of her hero, the Prem Vishaya Vibhav. It reminded her of her beloved. Because this is Krishna and Radharani experiencing separation from Krishna. So Kalindi, Yamuna, is the color of Krishna. So what happened? Then Mahaprabhu deeply entered Prema Vesh. He became Vival. He became immediately bewildered by ecstatic love just by the sight of the color of the Yamuna River in Allahabad, not Vrindavan. Just seeing the glistening, because Krishna's body is blue. It's one thing to be blue, but it's another thing to be chikkana shamala. Glistening, shining, glossy. Like we have in printing industry, they have matte finish and glossy finish. Matte means plain, dull, and glossy means shiny. Book covers. So Krishna is shining and glistening. So the glistening dark blue color of the Yamuna. I remember distinctly, I can appreciate what's being said here because I have direct experience of this color. Chikkana Shamala. Because we stayed 3 years in Prabhupada's kitchen or his rooms in Radha Damodar, 1989 to 92. And every day we would bathe in the Yamuna. In those days, Yamuna, Sakshat Kalindi Yamuna was flowing into Vrindavan. Later in the 1990s, They built a bridge, a dam, barrage, somewhere in Haryana, and blocked the Yamuna. No, Yamuna is not coming now, you know that. But then the real Yamuna was actually coming. And we'd go every morning at noontime before Prabhupada's bhog offering and bathe. I remember in the winter time especially, there's no one really there, and walking across the sand or in the summer, and then seeing, because in the winter, the Yamuna recedes, moves far away from the Parikama marg. In the old rainy seasons, the Yamuna would flood the Parikama marg at Shringarvat. The Yamuna would come up right up to Shringarvat, where the steps are going into Shringarvat at the Yamuna, I've seen. And all the way back to Madan Mohan and Goshala was all Yamuna, water. That's long ago, 15, 18 years ago. But then we'd walk across the sands and they're growing Loki. All the sands are full of Loki and all these kind of subjis that grow there. And when we walk across the sand, then you see this beautiful, beautiful ribbon, and it's described that way in Brajriti Chintamani. Brajriti Chintamani by Vishwanath Chakravarti describes it. The Yamuna River is like a meandering river of kajal, like kajal. It's like a blue sash tied around a woman's waist. It's like a liquid flow of blue sapphires. He uses these adjectives to try to describe the beauty, because Yamuna is not a raging river; it's kind of meandering like this. Looks like a ribbon or something like that, with curls in it. And the color was shining. I would see it shining like a blue sapphire. I think it was so beautiful, just like Shamsundar. And I've never seen such a beautiful shine. And I'm from America. I grew up on the ocean, Atlantic Ocean in New Jersey. And the ocean, of course, is blue. The deeper the ocean, the more blue it is. And the Caribbean and Thailand and places like these islands where you go out near the island and swim, it's not very deep. It's only 10, 20, 30 meters. So it's green and light green and bluish green and turquoise. But when you go where it's 1,000 meters and 2,000 meters deep, in any ocean, it's very dark, very blue. But shiny and chikana, this is Yamuna's special quality. The water is just water. It's blue in color. So I've seen this, and Mahaprabhus saw that. Of course, I didn't become Vival or Pagal or anything. I just appreciated Krishna's presence there. Hunkara. So first he had this transformation, whereas Stairati was excited by this Udipan of the blue color. He's naturally, permanently in love, in Madhurarati, conjugal love with Krishna and Radha Bhav. Mahaprabhu's and Radha's Bhav, separation from Krishna. So seeing anything that reminds Mahaprabhu of Krishna, then Mila remembers Krishna. Then what's the Anubhav? Once that Vibhav is stimulated, the Udipan comes together with the Alamban. That's called Vibhav. The meeting of the Lamban and the Udipan together, hero and heroine and environment, stimulus. Then there's Vibhavs. Then that's the Vibhav, the foundation, beginning. And then there's Anubhav, then Sattvic Bhav, and then Sanchari Bhavs. And then all 5 Bhavas together become Ras. So what happens? He sees, then he Hunkara Kari Yamanara Jali Dila Jampat Prabhu Deki Samhara Mane Haila Bhaya Kanpat. When Mahaprabhu saw the shimmering, glistening blue color of the Yamuna River, he immediately made a great sound. Ah! Ah! Hunkara! Ah! And he jumped headlong out of the boat into the Yamuna. He was bewildered. Vismita is a Sanchari Bhav. He saw that immediately Vismita became bewildered, excited. Then he jumped, and everyone was filled with fear and trembling to see this. Sabaramane Bhaya Kanpa. Janpa. That's a beautiful play on Bengali. Janpa and Kanpa. Janpa means a plunge. A Janpa. He plunged into the river, Yamuna, Kalindi. And everybody Bhaya Kanpa. Everybody became full of fear and trembling. Aste, aste, aste. Aste means fast, fast. Aste, aste. Aste vyaste savedari prabore utaila. No karo pare prabhu nachite nagila. Everyone hastily, very quickly, aste vyaste. They quickly grabbed Mahaprabhu and pulled him out of the water into the boat. And once he got onto the boat, he started dancing. So dancing is one of the 33 Vyabhachari Bhavas. When you become so excited and well love, you start dancing. And you see that in movies and things. Somebody falls in love and then they're dancing down the Chopati beach or Juhu beach. I'm in love! And they sing some song and they're twirling their hat and they're singing some Hindi song and he's dancing and he had, like this, and he has his sunglasses on. And then the next scene is the lady fell in love with back at her house and she's like, and he's running down the street and he's singing the theme song for the movie. I'm in love, whatever. I fell in love. So Mahaprabhu, he's dancing, because that when the love rises great in the heart, then it makes your body dance. That's what Prabhupada said. You see these boys and girls dancing in kirtan? This is not disco dancing. This is not disco dancing. You can see on folio. This is not disco dancing. This is not ball dancing like old days, the ball. This is a dance of love. The devotees, their hearts, they're excited. They're chanting Krishna's name. They're excited. Their hearts are jumping. So their hearts start moving in excitement. So naturally their arms come up and then Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Kirtan Ulas, Hari Bol. It's a natural dancing of the soul, not the artificial dancing in the disco or a hip-hop or some modern dance. Mahaprabhu bhari noka kari talamal, dubite lagila noka jalaki barajal. Due to Mahaprabhu's heavy weight, the boat began to tilt. Because Mahaprabhu is Vishwarup, he's Virat Rup, he's Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna. He's heavier than the heaviest, lighter than the lightest. Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. He's lighter than the lightest. He's an anu, an atom. And he's heavier than the heaviest. If he wants to be. So now now Radharani, Mahaprabhu's in Radha Bhav, he's feeling the weight. He's remembering so much. I mean, in Radha's Bhav, Mahaprabhu's remembering Krishna so much, seeing the color and going prema vesh and becoming vismita, bewildered, jumping in, Sham! And jumps in to embrace Sham in the form of Yamuna. Then they pull him up and it doesn't restrain, just because they, like sometimes two people fight, there's so much anger. Then you pull one person off the other person, and he just throws you down and jumps on the other person and fights some more. You see sometimes. Stop fighting. No, get out. And he throws you off, even though you're his friend. And he jumps back, because anger is overtaking him. It's called overtaken by emotion. So what does speak of? Prema, Shringarati. How much it overtakes you, how much it seizes you, how much it conquers you. So, conquered. Radharani, and it's Radha Bhav, her Mahabhav. Mahaprabhu is relishing Mahabhav of Radha being conquered by experiencing this direct experience of Krishna and her Chamatkar Vibram, her Prem Vibram. So they pull out, okay, slow down, come out. Then just jumps up on the boot and starts dancing. Now, in Radha Bhav, Mahaprabhu is fully absorbed in Krishna, fully thinking of Krishna and dancing with Krishna. So that means Krishna has entered into Mahaprabhu, and Krishna is the Virat Rup, and Krishna is heavier than the heaviest. Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. Therefore the boat was sinking. Do you think one cheap UP Noka can contain the Virata Rup? Can one cheap wooden UP Noka plying the Triveni contain all the weight of the Vishwarup? No. So the boat started to sink because Radharani was sinking. I mean, Krishna was experiencing the heavy weight of Radharani's love. This is a Radha Bhav. How heavy is Radharani's love? I'm dancing and I'm feeling the weight of Radharani's love in this Radha Bhav, and then That weight is being transmitted to the boat, and the entire boat and all the passengers on it, including Vallabha Bhatta, are sinking into the Yamuna. Doesn't sound good. What's going to happen? Yadyapi bhatterage. Oh. What happened? What happened is the batteries went dead. I'm not doing too good with it, class. Yadyapi bhatterage prabhuradharya haila. No. Yadyapi bhatterage prabhuradharya haila man durvara udbhatta prema nahi samvaran. Mahaprabhu tried to restrain himself as far as possible before the senior Vallabhacharya. Remember, Vallabhacharya is born in 1478. He's 8 years the senior to Mahaprabhu. So that means a lot in Indian culture. He's an acharya, he's a guru, and he has so many disciples. He's the head of a sampradaya. So Lord Chaitanya, for these reasons, is showing him great respect, and he feels a little shy and embarrassed to uncontrollably go into ecstasy of prema before his senior, his Guru Jana. He tried, although he tried to calm himself, his ecstatic love could not be checked. Duravara udbhatta prem nahi samvaran. Nahi samvaran. Durvara, it was difficult to stop the wonderful ecstatic love. Udbhatta prem. That wonderful, here Mahaprabhu, Krishna came as Mahaprabhu to experience Radharani's love, to relish the happiness Radharani feels when she serves Krishna. And what is the pranaya mahima? What is the greatness of Radharani's pranaya? Krishna was mystified and attracted and curious to know, so he had to come again as Mahaprabhu to experience it. And what is the depth of that love? What is she tasting? And what happiness she feels by serving me? And what is the glory of her love? And what is the experience of serving me? And so now he knows that it's sinking the boat, and he can't restrain himself. Bhaye bhatta sange rahi madhyana karan nijagrihe anila prabhare sangeta lan. Fearing for Mahaprabhu's welfare, Vallabhacharya stayed in his association. Oh, I forgot one verse. Desha patra deki Mahaprabhu Darya haila adailera gatte noka asiutarila. Seeing the circumstances, somehow Mahaprabhu pulled himself together, calmed down, so the boat was able to peacefully reach the shore of its destination of a diagram. Bhaye bhatta sange rahe madhyan karan nija grihe anila prabhure sangeta lana. For Mahaprabhu's welfare, Vallabha Bhatta, who is his host, inviting him for lunch, stayed closely by Mahaprabhu. After arranging for his bath, Bhattacharya took the Lord to his own home. So after they crossed the other side, everyone bathed in the Yamuna, and then Vallabhacharya provided gamshas and clothing for the Lord to change into. So I guess we'll continue there tomorrow. This is part 2 of the meeting of the two Mahaprabhus. It's quite a wonderful story from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai.